Good morning, coolest coast. It is time for Coffee with Kristin and Tina. Good morning and welcome to this episode of Coffee with Kristin and Tina. We're your hosts this morning. This is Kristin Odell of KLO. I'm Tina Prigge of Vagabond Creative Studio. Thank you so much to Just Orthodontics for sponsoring this episode. Kristin, so happy to see you.
Good morning. I'm saying good morning, but look at how dark it looks today.
Yeah, we are literally live. It is 8:30 a.m. on a Wednesday morning, but yeah, it feels like it's more like 8:30 p.m.
Does it make you want to crawl into bed with pajamas on and watch a movie?
So much does. So many things make me want to do that.
I know, right? I got up this morning and I was like, ooh, I'm working from home today. Should I wear sweatpants all day today? What
was the decision?
Well, I have jeans on, but look at this cute new sweatshirt I got from Intentions Boutique right here in Manitowoc. Isn't it so cute?
I hear the best things about Intentions Boutique.
Yeah. So I was like, ooh, that's comfy. Let's do that.
Yeah, love it. And it's interesting because I don't even know if it's been 12 hours since I last saw you.
I know. Isn't it so great? It might just be 12 hours.
Okay. All right.
Last night was so good.
I thought so too. Let me put up a quick picture here. Let me use my bifocals and look at these tiny thumbnails.
Not looking down your nose, Tina.
Right. So look at this fun group of people. We had a networking, it was called Nosh and Networking. So it was a networking event. And there was an educational component. Kristin Bock, who's a body language expert, joined us and gave us like an hour of all of this valuable insight and information.
It was so fun. So I know we've talked about Kristin on the show before, but she's funny, witty. Yeah, look at how cute she is.
Yeah.
This is the best action shot. I just love it. And I've seen her speak a number of other times, and I just still sat back last night and thought oh, I should pay attention to that. Oh, that was really funny. I was still giggling and enjoying myself, even though I've seen her speak before. So what was it like for you? Because you had never met her before.
Oh, first of all, I just loved her energy and who she is as a person. I was like, okay, this is cool. I love this. And then her presentation, you're right. I was laughing throughout it, giggling, enjoying myself. But I also learned a lot, right? Because it's all of these things that you don't really think about when you're engaged in conversation or when you're interacting with other people. These little tells that, you're letting the person that you're talking to know I'm fully engaged, or I'm trying to think about what's next. How do I get out of here? Right. And that can have a big impact on that interaction.
Yeah. I think just my level of awareness of what I'm doing is really important. So as an example, if people are in a rush, sometimes they point their feet towards the door. And I had never thought about that before, but I'm certain I've done that to people before. And it's the international sign for, I don't have a lot of time, wrap this up. Right. But there's really times where I need to be in the moment and I need to not be rushed. I need to be paying attention. And so there's definitely some things that I'm going to work on and take away and just maybe even just be more aware of.
I also like the confirmation too, that using our hands to pepper our speech and emphasize what we're talking about is totally acceptable and actually helpful in communication.
Right. I agree with you. So I'm a total hand talker, right? This is me. You guys see my hands going on the show all the time. I do things to woo, you know what I mean?
Jazz hands.
Yes, it helps emphasize. And I thought it was really cool that, she kind of gave the example of the word sticky, and she did this. I haven't thought about as a speaker or a presenter or even just a consultant with how meaningful what we do with our hands can help.
Well, I really appreciated the examples too of hands not supporting what you're saying, right? So if you're I've got a whole lot I want to talk to you about today, what? Your mind just kind of breaks a little bit, right? Yeah. So it matters.
That doesn't match, right?
Right.
And another just big takeaway for all of those out there saying, oh, I missed this. So one of the, big things is first impressions matter. You have 20 seconds to make an impression. And the level of accuracy on that first instinct is pretty high. And if I'm remembering the number right, 76% of the time we're accurate with our gut instincts.
In second. It was like a micro moment.
Yes. So for all of you who like try to turn off that gut instinct or like want to think logically around it, please don't stop following what your gut is telling you, because your gut is right 3/4 of the time.
Yeah, that's another really important distinction and confirmation that she gave, right? Like, trust your gut, trust what your body is telling you. Hey, Nicole just messaged in. She said, I work from home and talk with my hands all the time when on the phone, and always think this probably looks insane since no one can see me on the other line.
Nicole, you're just emphasizing people even though they can't see your hands or your face. I'm certain your voice carries what you're doing with your hands. Do you see how I did that?
Yeah, you're
Um,
good.
it's just like people can hear you smiling on the phone. I don't know if any of you have heard that before, but like you're still emphasizing what you're saying by talking with your hands and using other body language. Like people can hear it.
Yeah, it's true. And hey, Nicole, I spent 3 years living in Japan, and there, instead of a handshake, most things are conducted with a bow, right? Most interactions. When I came back to America, I can remember like ordering a Domino's pizza on the phone, and I was like, like
Cute.
confirming what I was saying with a bow. So you're not alone in those phantom gestures.
Yeah, if I thought about it, I don't stop talking with my hands when I'm on the phone with somebody. I definitely keep doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. And I think it's interesting too, because she pointed out a lot of what she's talking about isn't for the other person, it's for you,
Mhm.
right? Like all of these tips and tricks are for you to have a better experience.
Well, and I loved how she described how much body language is she was like a gift to somebody else, right? So it's helping you get across the point that you want to make. And you're giving a gift to the other person because they will be able to better understand you when you are doing that. I'm like, I love the concept of nonverbals and communication being a gift to somebody else.
Yeah. And it was surprisingly high, the percentage of nonverbals as part of communication versus the verbal.
Yep. Yeah. A lot.
So Kristen, what's happening here?
I love this. So, you guys, we had a lot of new faces last night, which I really love. So, I think this is for sure the third. It might have been the fourth networking event that Vagabond and Kristin Odell have hosted together. And I love seeing new faces. So, these two ladies, it was the first time I had met them. And we had these fun little speech bubbles, which Kristin Bock brought along. And yeah, I used the fig leaf.
Can you remind us what Kristen taught us about the fig leaf? What does that mean?
Stand up. So,
Here, let me take the picture down.
fig leaf is a description for what we might do with our body if we feel insecure, unsure. So if I stand up, men I think do this a little bit more than women, but I'm protecting myself, particularly in the private area. It can be like this, or it can be like this, right? But fig leaf specifically talks like this, right? And sometimes that can speak to like insecurities and unsureness, lack of confidence, but it also can be something like we see security guards or police officers hold that position, meaning, I might be on guard a little bit. So you have to take into context what version of the story you're seeing. But if you're having a meaningful conversation with somebody and they go from being engaged to kind of going in this block, like that's worth paying attention to.
Yeah, it was such a good group that came together last night. I really enjoyed everyone that was there, the energy, the conversations. I'm so thankful too, because you facilitated like a networking, I don't want to say challenge, but like a networking, it was guided in a way, right? Where you weren't just left flapping in the wind, but
Right.
you made these connections, kind of like speed networking, right?
Right.
And I just had so many good conversations. And I'm pretty sure I was able to talk to everyone in the room and connect in some way. And you're right, I made some new connections, and I'm really excited to explore those in the future.
Yeah, you're such a pro of working in the room. Like, I love you got around to so many people with those little speech bubbles and snap pictures and stuff. Like, it was really fun. It's been fun even to see. So, some people who attended last night posted on LinkedIn or Facebook and just really gave affirmation of how much fun they had at the event, which is, I always love that. People said, please do it again. Please, let's get together again, which again, it makes it all worthwhile. Um, but networking can be hard, especially for people who are more introverted. And we want opportunities for those individuals to network. And there were some in the group last night who came and said, like, I haven't really been out since COVID. Like, this is one of my first social times. There were some that participated and said, I just am really uncomfortable with networking, but I'm trying. And that's why I signed up. And I'm like, I'm so proud of you for being here. And they had a good experience. They gave me feedback that experience was really good for them. And I saw joy in them having conversations. And, just again, speed networking, you have a little bit of support. So I help you find a partner. I give you some things to talk about. So in theory, it's a little bit easier than having to go and talk to somebody on your own. I would also say this group was like, they were pros.
It was awesome. It was so fun.
Like,
Right.
I got home last night and I was like, I wouldn't have even had to facilitate conversations last night because it was an intimate group, intimate meaning 20 or less. And people were just talking with each other and it felt very safe. And so it was really, really fun.
Yeah. I'm so glad you did though. I love that sort of facilitated, because otherwise my inclination might be to get into a conversation and not break away and keep meeting people,
Right. So Kristin Bock, like, she lives in Oshkosh. She teaches body language most specifically throughout Wisconsin. And I love that she was willing to come over and kind of do this event with us, right? Like, she didn't get paid for last night. She just did it out of the kindness of her heart. And Tara Fletcher is a friend of mine and somebody I've networked with over the years. And Tara drove here from Shawano last night, and just there's an element of women in business and entrepreneurs supporting each other and kind of cheerleading. And so for me, just personally, it just meant so much that these women who, again, I've met just in networking, came over to kind of champion and cheerlead. And like, it is making me think about how can I do that for other people more, both in our community and now like in their communities. Like, I want to champion Tara. She lives in Shawano. Like, how can I lift her up? And, Kristin's in the Valley, and how can we do something in the Valley to help? It's really cool to work together.
Yeah, just having that web of connections and people that, essentially you have that connection with, right? It doesn't mean that some business has to be transacted. It doesn't have to be momentous, but just having that connection. It's kind of like when you tell the start of our story, right? We met at this cool outdoor Snoga event and just had a little spark of a connection. And then the next time we met, we kind of expounded on that. And then all of a sudden, look at where we are today. And like, I could have never predicted that.
I agree.
We needed that spark first.
I agree. You just need that one little moment in the universe where your paths cross, and you can be intentional about that, but kind of where it goes from there, you just never know what's going to be in front of you. So
yeah. And like Wendy just commented too and said, now, there's one more person that's aware of the mission of the ADRC and what it does. And, Wendy's somebody that we've met through this whole networking experience too. I'm so thankful for that.
Right. And Wendy and I and Jason, your husband, Jason, got paired up last night. And, we were talking, we already know each other, but it was fun to explore, like, what are you excited about this year? How do you think our connection can be meaningful in the future? Like, we still talked about the points, and it just was kind of neat.
Yeah. Yeah. And Wendy said Kristin Bock reached out and connected on LinkedIn. I'm excited to get to know her better. She was a great speaker.
Yeah. Just follow her. If you're on LinkedIn, follow Kristin Bock on LinkedIn. Her social media posting is fabulous. She does such a good job. Again, funny. She has this kind of comic strip feel to her social media platform. It'll be worth your while because you'll just learn things just from her posts. And I think that's fun.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what else is fun, Kristin?
Ooh.
I've been thinking about these every day since we ate these.
That feels like 100 years ago.
I know. And this is since last week.
Yeah, not even like, what was it, Thursday?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. You guys, so Tina is so sweet and so good to me and reached out and said, do you have time to squeeze in lunch? And it just so happened that I had this like one little spot in my calendar. And so we met for lunch. She treated me to Ryan's on York. I know, so good. And we had dessert for lunch.
These are monkey bites, you guys. So I love the food at Ryan's on York. I'm never disappointed, and it's always delicious. But they had a special, and it was monkey bites. And monkey, I just love that word. Like no matter when or how you use it, it always brings a smile. And they did not disappoint. They were so tasty.
Right. So these, if you want to throw that picture up one more, so monkey bites are basically cinnamon roll dough, deep fried. So think kind of teeny weeny donuts, then with frosting on, and then it was served with a side of raspberry sauce.
I mean, right? Why did we even order other lunch?
I probably because we are adults. We know that we needed to eat something to get. If I had just eaten that for lunch, I don't know that I would have been productive the rest of the day.
Right, right.
But everything we had, I had a Cuban. You guys, so delicious. And Tina, you had tacos. What kind of
Ah, Korean tacos, they were delicious. Yeah,
so fresh? Just they're doing it right.
they
It
are.
was really fun. Tina and I actually were just visiting, and this is not hard, but like Tina and I were just chatting, shared lunch, whatever, and all of a sudden we looked and it was like 1:45, and we were like, oh, we both had obligations. Like we gotta go.
I know. It was so nice though. And I loved it because we both pulled out like our library Libby apps and we were talking about what books we'd recently read. And it was so great. And it felt like we were there for 5 minutes.
I know. And just like this show, you guys, like Tina, you make it so easy to have conversation and you're just so good at asking beautiful questions and just you're a good egg.
Hey, I was thinking about people being kind and doing nice things. And last night, right before the event was about to start, the Maritime Museum staff brought in a bouquet of flowers for you. How
Yeah.
cool is that?
I know. So this was like a total surprise. And at first he brought it in, he was like, this is for Kristen. Now keep in mind there were two Kristins there last night, both spelled the same way. So I was like, oh, really? Okay. And then I was like, wait, do you have a last name on there? And then he was like, yeah, Kristen Odell. And I was like, oh, they're for me. And I was like, who could have done this? Um, my dear friend sent flowers just like as a support and like you got this kind of thing. And I like who even thinks to do that? It was the most amazing surprise.
Yeah, it's so meaningful, right? Just that little bit of thoughtfulness.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's impactful.
It just kind of stopped me in my tracks. And I was like, oh, that's the best.
Yeah. Yeah. And like yesterday, for example, I came into my office and on my keyboard, Jason had put a scone, but he didn't just put a scone, like there was a little heart and a J, plus T. And I was just like, like that's the type of thing that I can like live on for the whole week.
I love that. What kind of scone was it?
Oh, it was blueberry. It was tasty.
Yum, that sounds so delicious.
Which would have been a gift in and of itself, right? But the little extra note.
Just I know, just that little hand, that little touch. Like when I coach people on leadership and supervision and HR, we just talk a lot about what recognition means, and kind of being seen or heard by somebody and supported or championed by somebody. And it doesn't have to be a lot. It doesn't have to be fancy. It can be a note like that. It can be a little post-it note with a handwritten thing on, but like it can be so impactful. So maybe my challenge for everybody today is write somebody a note or shoot somebody a text today that needs something. A thank you. You're awesome. Maybe a you got
Thinking about you.
you popped in. Like my family knows this about me, but like if somebody pops in my brain, I just send them a text and say, you crossed my thoughts today, like sending you love, right? Because how great is it to know that somebody is thinking about you?
Yeah. Yeah. It's quite awesome. It's quite awesome. I love this challenge. Okay. If you do this, put a little message in the chat. Let us know. Or if somebody does you a kindness, let's talk about it. I love celebrating that.
Or take somebody in the show and give them a shout out in our show comments.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes. Yes, we'll put it up on screen. We'll help you shout it out.
So, Tina, we had lots of different snacks last night. And there's kind of a changing of the season here in snacks. It's football season, it's fall. So last night we had one of my favorite fall things, which is chocolate chip pumpkin muffins.
Oh, I didn't get one of those. What?
You might get one dropped off at your office today. And one of my other favorite game day things we had last night is buffalo chicken dip.
It was so good, Kristin. I think that's my new favorite. I loved
it. It is I would say fairly protein friendly for your husband also. But I could just eat that all. I could make a crock pot full of it and eat the whole thing. It's so delicious. So what are your favorite either game day treats or fall feeling things?
Yeah, tell us. I'd like to know because when I went back to the crock pot to get like one more last night, it was empty. And it was like, that was the one moment of disappointment I experienced all night. I was like, no. I'm a big fan too of taco dips, but a taco dip doesn't have that warmness, that like the buffalo chicken dip does.
Are you guys a chili family?
I love chili.
I saw a picture of a charcuterie board recently. Oh, Teresa, love you. Like I have to just say this out loud. I had like 3 people tell me last night that they were there because Teresa Falvey liked the event or said she was going to the event and they were connected to her. And so because she was going, they were like, ooh, if Teresa's going, I'm going.
Cool.
Thanks, Teresa.
Thanks, Teresa. It was so good to connect with you last night.
I know. Ooh, pigs in a blanket with everything but the bagel seasoning on top. Yum.
Pigs in a blanket. Yes. Yes.
I think it's a good one. Okay. I know. Chili. We were talking chili. I saw a picture recently and it was like a chili charcuterie board. So it had like the pot of chili on it. And then it had like corn muffins and Fritos and crackers. And then it had like sour cream and salsa and green onions and like all these shredded cheese, all these like toppings and fun things. And I was like, I think I'm going to have to do this for something. I don't know what.
Oh, that's such a great idea.
Isn't it so fun?
Yes to all of those things.
I know. How would you stop?
You just have to have a small bowl so you can have all those toppings.
You put noodles in your chili?
Yes.
Us too.
Okay.
Absolutely. Now, I do know people who are like, no noodles.
Isn't it just spaghetti sauce then? I suppose with the noodle, I don't know.
It has beans. It has like chili powder and cumin in it. Spaghetti sauce would have more Italian-inspired seasonings.
Yeah, true.
Actually, though, I think my cousin Nicole, who's been commenting, I'm pretty sure she told me the last time I saw her that she tries to make chili, but it always either turns out as like Mexican or Italian spaghetti sauce and not chili. Something happens.
That's funny. It's funny that it's all so close. Why do some people put noodles in and some people don't?
Midwest. It's the Midwest way. Noodles are a Midwest thing.
I can remember my roommate in college saying that they had like spaghetti noodles and they would put the chili on top, but the noodles weren't in the chili.
So my mom uses spaghetti noodles and hers are mixed in, but I can see the benefits of putting them on top.
But then again, it's spaghetti. I don't know.
Spaghetti because it has beans and other inspired spices in it.
Too funny. Okay, I want to just put this up on screen. You shared this little meme, 10 signs you're doing well in life.
I know. I love this. This is just so humble. Just a good reminder. Okay, number 1, you have a roof over your head.
You ate today.
Yep. You have a good heart.
Aww. You wish good for others.
You have clean water.
So important. Someone cares for you.
Yeah. You strive to be better.
You have clean clothes.
You have a dream.
You're breathing.
Yes. Be thankful for the little things, for they are the most important. How great is that?
Yeah, such a good reminder. Such a very good reminder.
I'm gonna mimic that thumbs up. Today's a good day if you got all those things covered.
Yes, how many people want chili now that we've been talking about it? This feels like a chilly day, doesn't it?
Amazing to mama. Mwah. Good morning, mama. Yes. You know what else? I made baked beans last weekend, homemade baked beans. And now that I'm thinking about this, I will transform baked beans into chili if there's leftovers. So I think that's going to be dinner tonight.
Ooh. Jason made me a curry last night and it was so good.
Was it? Do you have a picture of the curry?
Hey, Teresa said, today is a good day to be a good day. I do on my phone. Let's see if I can show this to you guys because it was delicious.
Ooh,
So there was tofu in it, mushrooms, cauliflower, and cashews, and then there's a slice of naan on the back
oh
too.
my gosh, that looks delicious. So
It was.
there's a backstory on curry in your house. You want to tell friends about the backstory?
I love curry, and Jason's a big curry fan too. But my son does not like curry. And my son has like a super sensitive sniffer, we say, right? Like he can be upstairs on the second floor and somebody can crack an egg and he'll be like, what are you making with eggs down there? Or like, I once cut up cilantro so fine, you could not like identify it or see it. And I mixed it into a dish. He's like, why is there cilantro in here? I'm like, what? So he detests the smell of curry. He doesn't like those spices and that spice combination. So even if like I wanted to make curry for myself and make him something else, I would have to deal with like the blah, 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 curry, rah, rah. So we would almost never make curry while he was home. And now that he's gone to college, we have curry probably 5 nights out of 7.
I love that you're capitalizing on being empty nesters. Congratulations, right?
Thank you.
I love that you guys had like late night dinner together last night. Like I'm guessing you did that after our event,
Right, right.
right? And how awesome that Jason can make curry. I don't know if I would know how to make curry at home.
I think the sauce, I think he's buying like pre-made, right? And
Okay.
maybe you add water or oil or something. But
Okay.
he's not doing that from scratch.
Jason Prigge, can you post that in the comments about how you do that? Will you share your secrets with us?
Yes, do share the secrets because it's really good, honey, and I really appreciate it.
I,
And I put this up, but I just wanted to say it out loud. Teresa said today is a good day to be a good day. I love that.
it is, in fact, a good day to be a good day. Okay.
Hey, one more thing we should talk about.
Oh, yes.
This is coming up, and this is really cool, and you don't want to miss it. So on Saturday, October 7th, the Manitowoc Symphony Orchestra has their first concert of the season, but it's the Phantom of the Opera. So it's the 1925 silent film. They're going to be playing the film on screen and then performing the score live.
I'm so excited. I have a ladies' night that night with 2 of my girls, and I think that's going to be on our agenda is to go because I just think it will be so cool to see first of all, the old movie. And then again, our live symphony, so amazing. We're so lucky to have a symphony in Manitowoc.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible. And when you think about the fact that that's how movies used to be, right? Like it was this silent film and it was live musicians. Maybe it was just a piano player. Maybe it was a full orchestra. But yeah, this is something special.
So spread the word. That picture came right from the Manitowoc Symphony Orchestra Facebook page. The information's out there. That event is held at the Capitol Civic Center. There's tickets available online. Go buy your tickets.
And if you're 35 or under, tickets are only $10, which is incredible. Like it makes me want to dye my hair and just pretend I'm 35.
7 years too late. Shoot. Like the student rate.
Yeah. What else is cool though too is because it's October, because it's the Phantom of the Opera theme, they're encouraging costumes. So if you want to roll up to the Capitol Civic Center in your favorite costume,
It's so fun.
yeah.
So spread the word about that. Let's pack the house for the symphony, and enjoy. What a cool thing.
Yeah. Another thing too, I love the current conductor, the current maestro of the symphony. He wants people to enjoy the music. And if there's something that you're watching and it moves you and you're like, wow, or you're like, yeah, do it. Like this is not like stodgy grandfather rules anymore where you have to patiently wait until there's the perfect, even like in between movements, sometimes when it gets quiet and you like want to clap, you can. Now you're totally, he said it's better for the musicians. It's better for everyone enjoying it to just, if something makes you feel joy, express it.
Yeah, it's so cool how listening to music can invoke emotion or excitement or those type of things. And I know Karen Moore with Treehouse Theater has told audiences that before the kids perform, because when the audience responds, they can feel it, they get excited about that. And so yeah, it encourages the artists to keep doing it and to do it better and have more confidence. So
Yeah.
what
And it connects the audience and the musicians too, I think.
yeah, yep, yeah. Okay.
Okay. So Kristin, this is the last Wednesday in September. That means we are on hiatus for the month of October. So we'll have so much to talk about when we come back in November.
Yeah. So listen, friends, we're taking the month of October off. As entrepreneurs, we are finding our plates to be so heavy. And we each have a number of events coming up where we're leading things and working with clients. We're going to take October off. We're
We will miss
falling
you
into fall.
so much, but we will fall back into fall with you in November. So please join us again.
Yes. So thank you for watching and being supportive. And we can't wait to come back in November and talk about all the things.
All the things. So everybody stay well until then. Kristin, thank you so much for the great conversation today. Thank you everybody for participating. And remember Kristin's challenge for today, do something nice for someone.
Yes. Good morning, Stacy.
Stacy, good morning.
Bye, guys. Have a great day.
All right, we'll see you in November. Take care, everyone.